Hey everyone, Matthew here. We are back. How's everyone doing today? So we have a special guest for you today. It's a real treat for you. We have the women's MMA pioneer, Strikeforce Bantamweight champion, UFC Bantamweight champion, former champion, and currently the One Championship vice president, Miesha Tate. Let's bring her on. She is here.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. Doing very well. I'm going to bring Chris on. Bear with me 1 second. There we go.
There
Hey
we
guys,
are.
how are you? Good.
Good.
Appreciate
How's
you
it feel to
having
be back? Oh, sorry.
me. Good, good.
Oh, I assume you're talking to me and not Chris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great so far. I'm just, training. I went to the UFC PI this morning, did my strength and conditioning, and then here in a couple hours I'll head to sparring. So it's good. Everything's on target and actually ahead of schedule. I would say ahead of schedule. So I also got my Aura ring today. That was it. That's interesting. So my first time wearing that. It's really cool to kind of track all your sleep and recovery. That's so important for athletes. Something I think in the earlier part of the sport, that nobody really understood that. It was always train harder, not smarter, and now it's definitely the other way around. So I'm taking advantage.
A lot of new technology these days.
Definitely.
Very good. Well, I'd just like to ask you a couple questions real quick. I'd like to ask you first about One. I got this interview because I work with One and we work for One. So I wanted to ask you a couple questions. I just realized that you, in an interview, Ariel said that you were leaving One. So I had no idea about that. How's that going to go?
Well, I mean, it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I would have loved to continue the working relationship with One Championship, but I do understand that they are two opposing. In a way, in a friendly way, right?
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, like they're competing against each
a
other,
weird
whatever.
way,
So
a weird way, right?
I gotta, if I'm gonna
it's not
fight
like McDonald's and Burger King or something.
Right. If I'm gonna fight for One Championship, then, or excuse me, fight for the UFC. Sorry, my daughter's just decided to pop in the room. So
I've got to
do an interview, baby. I gotta finish this. Okay. Okay, go get her.
It's fine. I've got a 7-week-old right here. I have a 7-week-old.
7-week-old. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just wait till they can talk and have a mind of their own. It's like,
oh yeah.
It's exciting.
So,
I have a 25-year-old and now a 7-week-old.
Oh wow, quite a spread there.
Yeah.
So you were asking me about with One Champion. Chachi just gave me his blessing. I told him that I wanted to fight and compete again, and he totally understood. He is a martial artist at heart himself, first and foremost. I would say before anything else, he has a heavy appreciation for family and for martial arts and for dreams. So he totally gave me his support and everything. So that's really what it is. It's just, a 30-day notice. I think I'm pending, around that 20-day mark right now. But yeah. So, but I mean, I think I'll probably come back at some point,
Right, exactly.
We left on great terms. So I wish nothing but the best for One Championship. They're doing great things for being such a young company really in the game. And yeah, they're doing great things.
They've got a huge week here. They got fights tomorrow, fights the next day, fights this weekend. They go at 4 or 5 cards coming up in April. And you got DJ fighting Reyes. You got Sage coming back after 2 years of was it Cosmo that punch that his face? And then you got Alvarez coming back too.
Yeah, exactly. So many great, and then some of One Championship's biggest stars too. I mean, Christian Lee, he's just a fantastic fighter in his own right. And then you've got Yuri Lapicus, who is undefeated till he fought Christian Lee. That'll be Eddie Alvarez's opponent. And he's quite a finisher. I mean, he had like 100% finish rate, and then he's only lost to Christian Lee. So I mean, I think people will be really impressed with him. That's going to be quite a hell of a fight for
Eddie?
For Eddie.
Yeah.
And I think a win over him definitely makes a very arguable point to put Eddie in title contention. So this could be that fight for Eddie that kind of, makes or breaks that whether he gets that other run to.
He had an interview 2 days ago with TMZ, and he was just talking about how he's had Strikeforce. Bellator, right? He was Bellator, Bellator lightweight, UFC lightweight, and then Triple Crown would be one. That'd be something else, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, when you talk about legacy and I think the things that he wants to do for that, this is a very, very important fight for him to kind of you know, to set up that whole opportunity and run and everything. So it's going to be a good one. And then obviously Demetrius Johnson, you know, he's challenging for the title. So, I mean, he was a UFC world champion, you know, obviously multiple time. In my opinion, he's the greatest fighter to ever do it. But, you know, will he be able to come over and take the strap, you know, from the one championship trap Adriano Moraes? I don't know. It'd be a good one. I'm looking forward to that as well. And then we have Rodtang, Rodtang Jitmuangnon, who is the Muay Thai champion. I think he's fighting at a catchweight, but he's just a really standout fighter and athlete. You know, somebody that I would just say, like, just keep an eye out for. He's fighting Muay Thai. And in one championship, so there's Muay Thai fights and kickboxing fights alongside the MMA fights, even occasional grappling matches here and there, which is really kind of cool. Kind of rounds out the whole, you know, idea of like what a fight card could look like. And they put on those tiny 4-ounce. I mean, you guys know this, but if anybody doesn't know, they put the 4-ounce gloves on the Muay Thai fighters and let them fight. I mean, if Muay Thai wasn't brutal enough, I swear, I mean, it's just insanity. Like, and Rodtang's, you know, he's the Muay Thai champ, so he's something special, fun to watch. He's
fighting Daniel Williams.
There we go.
Daniel Williams. Right. Catchweight.
So that'll be fun too. I look forward to any time that Rodtang's fighting. You just know you're going to be entertained and he's going to deliver a hell of a fight. It's just, he doesn't know how to do it any other way.
Absolutely. And that's going to be, the main card's going to be one on TNT. And that's going to be 10 p.m. main card on April 7th, which is tomorrow night. There's our one championship segment there. I've got a couple questions for you. I'd like to ask you about what you think about a Valentina Shevchenko, Amanda Nunes 135-pound rematch. What do you think about something like that? Do you think Val can get the win this time?
You know, yeah, like I think it's such a closely contested fight every time that they've won. You know, I could see a clear argument why Valentina, you know, justifiably could have won at least one of the fights, you know. So I feel like she's the real challenge for Amanda. It just, I think it really just kind of comes down to reach. I think she's just a smaller woman, and you know, Amanda's got such a hell of a reach that it gets a little difficult for her. But you know, technically, I think Valentina, you know, by the book, right, is the better striker. But you know, Amanda is a little untraditional, but she throws her punches almost like a tomahawk. You know, it's like, what can you say bad about that? Like, she knocks women out. She's just a hell of a striker. And I think, you know, sometimes a little bit untraditional or a little bit messy in MMA works better sometimes, you know, because it's just outside the box and it's a little harder to prepare for. And I think that's what, you know, Amanda has, and just tremendous delivery on her power with kind of an effortless way of moving about. So, yeah, I think that would be great, another fight. But I think it's got to be Julianna Pena first. I mean, that fight has to happen. I think Julianna is the clear contender at 135 pounds. You know, the only probably clear contender that Amanda hasn't fought yet. And Julie is more of a grappler. You know, she's more like myself. Like, we grew up in this sport together, her and I did. And she, you know, we've seen what happens when women try to stand with her. Unless you're Valentina Shevchenko, they don't really stand a chance. So I'm more interested in somebody who can muddy the waters and possibly take Amanda into a different element, you know, where we have seen her not do as well in the past. You know, I know Amanda's an evolved fighter, and she's getting better all the time. So I don't, you know, want to put too much emphasis on her past fights. But I mean, you did see the one with Kat Zingano, and, you know, if you've seen some of her, even in Invicta, you know, Sarah DeLalio, like, it's been typically on the ground that she's had her biggest battles or her losses, not on the feet. So again, stylistically, I think that's the most compelling fight at this point for Amanda.
That'd be a great matchup.
Yeah.
Matthew, feel free to ask questions now, bud. All you.
Okay. So welcome back. I've got to say that first and foremost.
Yes, welcome back. We're huge fans, by the way.
Congratulations. Yes, we are. Can't wait to see you get back in there. In recent talks, you had said when you're working out, people walked up to you and they could see it. They could obviously see the spark. There's something that you never you never lost. How does that feel knowing that it's always been there?
It was kind of refreshing in a way. Maybe refreshing is not the right word. Reassuring, that's the better word. To know after, some years of not training the sport with the intent of fighting again. It's not like I stopped training, but I trained differently. I trained more leisurely. I trained the things I wanted to, when I wanted to, kind of stuff. And to go back into the gym and be able to ease right back into, the hard training and the hard sparring. I mean, it's great. It's very good. It's very reassuring. And I got a lot of feedback from my teammates and, people who were watching me train, not really, and they didn't know I was looking to see if I could fight again, but they were already giving me really positive feedback. So I'm right where I want to be.
Nice. Well said. So we've got Felicia Spencer and Danielle coming up soon. Now, out of the two, which one do you think would be a better matchup for you?
There's my daughter. Well, you know what? Danielle Wolf is still pretty green. She's more of a striker, obviously. So she's gonna have a lot to learn, and I think she's gonna have her hands full with Felicia Spencer. Thank you, honey. Mommy's doing an interview. Can you wait, please? I can't. I know. We gotta charge it. Okay. Here, I'll plug it in. I'll charge it for you. I don't know. And So I think she's gonna have her hands full with Felicia Spencer, and she, if she wins that one, I just think that's a big look. The division is not so. It's like that's the only option she has is to fight a Felicia Spencer right now. But in my opinion, Felicia Spencer she's a hell of a fighter. She's so tough. She's very durable, and she's super ambitious, and she has absolutely no quit in her, and she's pretty well rounded as well. So I just think that's a tall order for somebody coming in with the boxing. I believe it's just boxing of Danielle Wolf. Do you guys know? It's not kickboxing, right? Just boxing, I think.
I believe it's boxing.
Yeah, I believe it's just boxing. But it's a tall order, Felicia's kind of, been doing everything for quite some time. But anyways, the one that would be more interested in, obviously whoever wins would be great. But I think Felicia would make like a more, I don't know, she's just more well
number one, possibly like a number one contender type fight. This is 145 we're talking, right?
Yeah, 145, which I'm going down to 135, so I don't know if I'll realistically face either one of these two. I was originally, I thought about 145 for a little while, but I want options. I don't want to be stuck in a division that doesn't have fights to keep me busy the way that I want to, and I don't want to. I mean, I guess that's it. Realistically, yeah. I want options, and I want to be able to fight. So
often.
Yeah, so I don't want to go into a division that only has two women in it.
And Megan Anderson I think Megan Anderson's contract's up, so
yeah, she's not technically signed right now, so I don't know what's going to happen with that, but. Right now, other than Amanda, who is going back down to 135 to defend her title there, so other than her, there's only those two women. So I don't know what's going to happen with that division.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe you coming in maybe reignites it, and they hire, get some more staff and get some more people, some more fighters.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not going to that division though. I'm going to 135.
Okay. Good, because I thought you were going to 145 at first. That clears it up. Good.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do that one, but no, I thought about it for a minute, but I really, once we kind of just decided, I talked to the UFC and the announcement. So it's Marion Renault. That's who I'll be fighting July 17th at 135.
Good deal. Okay, guys, good. 135. Yeah. All right, good. Back to where you had the gold, right, Miesha?
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of just wanted to be fat and happy and come back and just not have to cut weight. That would have been great, ideally, but when you really have goals and dreams, it's okay, fine. I'll just, I'll diet, whatever.
The worst word ever. The worst 4-letter word, diet.
I know.
I know what you mean.
What?
Go ahead, Matthew.
No, I was going to say, at least it gives you some time before the cut. Yeah. It's not like it's an immediate cut.
That's why I kind of that's why I waited till July instead of doing something in June, which I was kind of originally thinking June. But then I was like, okay, if I'm going to go to 135, just so I can get, my weight down way ahead of time. I just don't want to have to cut as much, but I already I did my like DEXA scans. Like I told you guys, I was at the PI and doing all those things. So like, they're like, oh yeah, you're well within the range to make 135 already. So I'm like, I'm ahead of schedule, you know. It's just, now I just realize the importance of those things, like just making it, you know, getting things done ahead of time. I have kids now, right? So it's like, I have to plan and schedule everything. So that's
plan
it.
and double plan, and then have backup plans.
Absolutely. So I just want to make sure all of that is in check, well, you know, like well ahead of time. I just don't want to have to cut a lot of weight. I don't like cutting weight. Nobody does, but
Are you going to stay in the Vegas area, or is that the plan?
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the Vegas area. Got my gym here at Extreme, and then the PI is just a hop and a skip from where I'm at too. So it makes everything really easy. Like, it's perfect.
Perfect. Is it better than Singapore? Living in Singapore?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. You know, Singapore is a great place for a lot of reasons, but it's not home.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're from that part of the country, right? The United States, somewhere out there.
Yeah, right? I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so Washington State originally, but you know, I'm still over here on the West Coast. So, same, different.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I've got just a couple little quick things. I wanted to know what you think about Frank Mir coming back. He's going to do some boxing on the Ben Askren versus Jake Paul card. The reason why I ask is, I think this kind of opens up some ways for some of the fighters that are retired or a little bit older to make some money and revenue. I wanted to see what you think about it, because a lot of people are like, this is bad for the sport. They're getting overpaid, you know, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to get your take.
Oh, I mean, I think it's a good thing. I think options are a good thing. I don't think, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense to me. Like, Ben Askren's not a boxer, you know. He's been known for his wrestling grappling area. But you know, then you have him fighting somebody who, you know, is a decent striker, but he's, you know, YouTuber. It's Jake he's fighting, right? Jake Paul.
Yes, Jake Paul.
Yeah, because I know there's the brothers. I do, you know, honestly, I'll be honest, I do get them confused a little bit.
Me too.
I still got to get like the whatever. So Jake Paul, I mean, yeah, I like that there's an option for fighters to kind of stay busy outside or otherwise, you know, other than just being in the UFC and then, you know, held to the top echelon, you know, and sometimes it's like, just because you can't maybe stay at the very top or be with the very best doesn't mean that you suck, and it doesn't mean that you can't add value in other ways. So I'm all for it. Right.
I'm going to segue. Hello. Hi. So adorable. I'm going to segue from that. And another thing, she's so adorable. This is the best interview ever. This is the best interview ever, Matthew.
You're silly.
What's your name?
You're funny. They have to ask me questions.
I'm just gonna segue from that one just a tad. Some of the fighters from the UFC, they get cut or whatever. They've been going to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Have you ever had a chance to watch that? Recently.
That's pretty brutal, in my opinion. You know, Bare Knuckle is pretty brutal, but I mean, I don't know. I think people should be able to do what they want to do. If the opportunity's there and sounds like something they want to do, then go for it. I don't think it would probably be something I would ever be interested in, but who knows, you know, the right fights and money does talk, you know. I'm definitely not something like that I'm afraid of, but it just seems kind of like it's different, you know. It's definitely different. You get a lot more. It's like the smaller the gloves get, so if you just get so cut up and banged up, and you know, like the cuts and things like that, it just doesn't sound as I don't know.
Doesn't sound
not
fun.
As appealing.
Yeah, not as appealing. That's all I had. Matthew, you got any questions before we let the champ go?
Yeah, so I just want to know how your training's going. You know, taking time off, coming back. You know, as an athlete myself, I know that's got to be hard. You know, people can see you still have the spark. Just let us know, how's it going for you.
Oh, it's your thing. Okay. Yeah. Can you just put the babies down? Yeah, put them down there. Okay. Just wait, baby. So, can you help with Daxton? That'll be fine. Just close the door. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. It's part of being a parent.
This is my life too. It's the same.
So, what was I gonna say? Oh, the training again, the
Yeah.
the comeback. What exactly was the question?
Basically, how is your training going? How do you feel? How's it going in
Oh
general?
yeah. Oh no, the training's really good. Like I said, I got to start ahead of. I'm ahead of schedule. Like I still have about 4 months left, and don't pull him up here, Maya. Don't pull him. And I feel really good. You know what I mean? It's like I'm able to still go into practice. And like I said, before people knew that I was even thinking about a return, because I just kind of wanted to answer those questions for myself and see if like I was gonna be good at, physically able to do it after 2 kids. And like that, like everyone's feedback was like, wow, it's like you never left. It's crazy. You got that mom strength now, so it's pretty cool. I feel really good.
I was chatting with John Wayne Parr recently, and he said that you would be one of the ones people want to avoid in the gym.
Who said that? Who said that?
John Wayne Parr.
Oh,
Muay Thai.
Nice.
Muay Thai. John Wayne Parr.
Love that.
Yeah, he said you put some hurting on some of the people sparring. Some knees to
Yes.
the belly. Yeah, you let them feel it.
Definitely. I try to. That's what you got to do. Show up, hit or be hit. That's it, really.
Well, I appreciate your time.
For sure.
Miesha. It's been our pleasure. And best of luck.
Thank
And
you,
we'll be
guys.
watching you in July.
Alrighty. Bye.
All right. Thank you for coming on.
That was good.
All righty. Matthew here. As you heard it from former champ Miesha Tate, she plans on coming back very soon. Stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on YouTube for more videos like this. MMA Uncensored out.